Coming to you live from the Anime Club's fresh new studio.
Fresh for you, not new to us.
Fuck off.
For once, Vorn is the one here with the snarky comment, and not Knick-Knack.
Nah, Knick-Knack we're going to just bury in the background right now.
Yeah. Let's bury Knick-Knack. I think we can all agree on that.
I'm Knick-Knack. With me is Vorn, Realm, Seki.
Alright, let's get the shovel, Vorn.
You have to mention our special guests, Princess Peaches and Loki.
Two little shits.
Who you will hear jingling in the background.
How dare you call them little shits?
They are little shits. Have you smelt their litter box?
You know what? Honestly, that's fair.
You have a cat. You understand.
I have. Mine is just a giant shit, though.
Oh, guys, this is the last recording of the season.
Speaking of shit.
Why do we want to talk about the shit?
Okay, I'm sorry. That was uncalled for.
This week we ended up watching a certain scientific railgun. So, yeah, this was Vorn's selection this time. Vorn, how are you feeling?
It's nice. I give it approved. It's not an absolute approval, as in some of our other shows. But god fucking damn it, really? I need to be that much louder? Does this work for you then? Does this work?
Speak like you mean serious business.
Oh my god.
For context, I've got a second screen up and I moved the fucking audio tracking bar up there so they could see how quiet they are. I feel like that made a better point than me just gesturing silently in the background.
Yeah.
Great. Now I will just sound like this the whole entire recording. This will be your pain. Have fun.
This is how Vorn voices over a wrestling match. Honestly, that fight.
So,
yes, we must begin the fight.
So you were saying, Vorn, that you approve of this?
Yes, I do absolutely approve of this.
This message is sponsored by Vorn.
Alright, I guess I'll go next. We'll go clockwise, I guess. No, I really like this. I think you can tell there's a little bit, maybe not more care, but it was a little easier at least for them to adapt this than Index. Probably because it was a manga. I don't know. Either way, the pacing feels much better handled here. I think there's a few areas where they may have went a little too far. But otherwise, I think it's a cute little slice of life that does a good job escalating into a bigger overarching plot. I think it handles it really well, actually. So it's an approved for me.
Yeah, the ramp up is
Go ahead, Seki. We're going clockwise with this one.
Oh shit, that's what clockwise means. I'm next.
Yes.
Catch the fucking one who can't read a goddamn clock, apparently. So, you know, some of you, if you're watching this, you probably have an interest in the Index series, and you may or may not have seen our reviews of the first Index series, a certain magical index. And to be quite frank, these are in the same universe, right? And I was kind of okay on the first submission of Index, but by the end of the second one, I was just like, I feel like I'm just missing shit. Like, doesn't make sense. Index makes me want to shoot someone, etc., etc. Just minor issues, you know? Cosmetic changes, really. I feel a lot more positive about this than I did about Index. Because, for one, there's no characters that make me want to rip out someone's vocal cords.
Really?
No, not currently. And for two, I'm finally getting some of that backgrounding I needed in Index explained.
I had an interesting conversation with someone in the comments of the Index video, if you remember, when I was discussing whether or not I recommended watching the anime chronologically.
Yeah.
And they pointed out, well, Index, you watch Index to introduce yourself to the world, introduce to the world better, right? Index, the anime, doesn't really do a good job of that, though.
No, Index, the anime, just kind of, like, comes out of left field, and it leaves you, like, missing stuff and dealing with just the most annoying creature on the face of this earth, save for maybe the yellow thing or the blue thing. But yeah, no, this isn't approved for me. Tentatively, cautiously, I did not hate this. I actually enjoyed it just a little bit. It's not on my favorites list, but I didn't hate it.
That is absolutely fair.
Okay, Vaughn, you can speak up
That
if
was
you need to
literally
without going.
even quieter.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah, sure. That is fair, okay? I'm sorry. I can't freaking figure out what I need
Now,
to
hearing
do
you try
to
to
be
pull-
loud.
Hearing you try to pull off the deep Chad voice is absolutely glorious. I'm just not sure it's picking up on the mic.
Yeah.
Can I get you to voice over like an entire anime episode like that?
Sure, why the heck not? Let's just get this started.
There, that recorded.
Realm, what did you think?
So I'm gonna be a shock, I think. I'm only giving this one a meh, actually.
What the fuck? I tried so hard to like this because I thought I'd be the only downer.
No, I actually give this one a meh. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it enough, honestly, to give it an approved, because, at least for me, the character that I was expecting to like at least a little bit more going into this was Misaka. And while I didn't hate her character, I didn't feel like I got enough to see that I really wanted to out of her character, and I didn't really learn anything new about her in comparison to Index, I felt like. So that was kind of a little bit of a letdown for me as far as that side goes. And while I didn't mind the slice of life aspect of it, I didn't actually really like that part of it, surprisingly enough, despite someone who actually enjoys slice of life shows, for it to really stick out to me and to give it an approved. So, and it just took too long to get to the kind of more actiony scenes. We didn't really get a lot of the heavier action scenes until kind of the last 3 episodes of this arc, and it felt like it just kind of dragged on with the slice of life aspect of it for a bit too long for my liking, at least for a show like this. So that was just kind of some of my main issues with it, and that's kind of the reason why I'm giving it a meh.
Okay, so that's an interesting turnout, I think.
Understandable, though. You don't really see a lot of Misaka too much, at least background-wise, in this first half. At least I feel.
So we'll get into it more with characters and story, I think, but I actually did have a note on Misaka as a character in this arc, just an observation I made, and I can see where Realm's coming from here, I think. Seki, did you want to get any criticisms off your chest while we're,
If nothing else, I will say that it feels like very little happens.
I think that's mainly my criticism with it as well. Very, very little happens, especially until the very end of the arc.
And I think for me, that's somewhat fine because I'm seeing it as part of a larger universe where I know that there's more context and more shit going down. So I can kind of look at this and go, okay, well, not much happens here, but, taking into account all the index that I've seen and, the fact that I know that this is longer than just, this section of episodes, I can justify that somewhat. It's like when I justify those long arcs in One Piece,
That's fair enough. I think this might be a fundamental area, because I think, Realm, you've been a little bit more receptive to those long arcs in One Piece than I have, right?
Yeah.
I think that might be where at least Realm and I differ. I would prefer you get a little bit more slice of life or not constant action when you're playing with a longer arc. And that might just be the Fate fan in me, because if anyone's seen Fate Stay Night, it's not outside, unless you're watching Babylonia, it's not constant fight scenes. There's 3 or 4 episodes of the characters talking
Babylonia!
and then fights. So I think that's why I probably like this a little bit more and enjoy that pacing a little bit more in the shonen. This is one long fight or one long action series.
I think this is where we find our distinction, at least as far as our distinction between series, Knick-Knack. Whereas you enjoyed this a little bit more, I didn't as much, and I think for me, I prefer a much more consistent tone with the series rather than a divergence. I think that this handled the divergence well enough, but I think but even though it handled it well, it wasn't enough for it to kind of sway me over to that kind of genre, if you call it that almost.
I think there's an arc in season 2 that could turn Realm around. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Laura. That where solve Realm's issues of the
Okay,
Misaka.
but we didn't see season
No, I
2.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And,
gonna be a
and we're
while.
not, the goal is not to turn Realm's opinion around. It's just to show us stuff that we haven't seen.
Well, I'm not the one making the anime. Obviously, it's not the goal. I'm just making the comment here.
Okay.
Actually, since we've both seen like the starting of Index and Railgun, what would you guys feel would be the better start point?
Oh, Railgun by a long shot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
At least anime-wise.
Go read the light novels. Be a whole nerd. What can I say?
Yeah. Read the novels.
Yeah, definitely the read novels, but Railgun if you're anime only.
Yeah, if you're anime only, I think it's Railgun by a long shot. In fact, that tends to be one I see a lot of people pointing to being better. Light novels, though, I've heard are really good.
Yeah. Like they've light novels are big right now, like in terms of how many books they got. So yeah. That they even started another series technically.
Don't I fucking know it. Trying to collect the fucking light novels up there. I'm already on volume like 12. Fucking bullshit.
Yeah, thank gosh I don't collect them. I'd be broke.
Yeah. So, the anime was made in 2009 by J.C. Staff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know the name J.C. Staff.
They do a lot of anime.
I'm gonna take a look because we've been looking a little closer the last couple. So.
Last couple at the studio
Yeah.
doing
Yeah, because it's interesting. You know what I mean? All right, let's see. What do I know? Okay, Revolutionary Girl Lieutenant. Let's see. Excel Saga. Azumanga Daioh. Let's see. We're looking for something. Honey and Clover. Carrot. Oh, they did Chibi Vampire.
Oh, nice.
Let's see. Familiar of Zero. That's a name I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nabari no. Oh, that's a name that Realm and I know. Toradora.
these. They did Bakuman.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, they did the original Index, of course.
Yep.
Hayate, the Combat Butler.
Nice.
Maid-sama.
Okay.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
I actually have seen Hayate the Combat Butler.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
same.
funny.
Atome Yokai Zakuro, I know that. Let's see, Bakuman 2. Kimi to Boku. More Familiar of Zero. More Bakuman. More Index. I don't know. No.
What?
No.
What did you see, Seki?
No. Oh, they did Shokugeki no Soma. And is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon?
Yeah.
They also did Prison School.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Shimoneta.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Flying Witch. And Psyche K.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Bangers.
They did Date Alive. At least 3.
Ugh.
3 was at least fine. Not the
I haven't seen 3. They did One Punch Man season 2.
Actually, I've heard season 2 is pretty bad for One Punch Man.
That's oofers.
More dungeon. Oh, they did Eden Zero. Had the realist hero rebuild the kingdom, and the Duke and his the Duke of Death and his maid, and the strongest sage with the weakest crest.
In Another World of My Smartphone season 2.
Okay, by the way, the thing I was seeing that I refused to say was fucking the Hentai Prince and the Stony Cat.
I actually have watched the anime for that one.
And
right
Nico, yeah. So
It's
they've
actually-
done a lot.
there. Okay.
Yeah, they're
so,
a big anime studio.
Yeah.
So that one right there, that anime Hentai Prince and the Stony Cat, is actually pretty funny. I have watched it before.
Okay, so we've seen them do a lot of stuff, and they have pretty solid quality work. I mean, they've got some low points in here, like some stuff that wasn't so good, but a lot of this stuff I've seen, I've enjoyed. Requiem for the Rose King, that's another one I've seen and enjoyed. So actually, yeah, okay. I guess the animation was fine.
Yeah.
I think the downside to not having as many fights and having more slice of life stuff is that you can't look at it and go, well, look at the fight scenes there, because there aren't really
Yeah.
a whole lot of them, so you're kind of relying on the animation used on like the slice of life shit, which is fine. It's fine. You know?
It seems like a lot of the budget was spent where it needed to be, and that's kind of what I expected, honestly, from this show.
I think in
Exactly.
general, though, this is a steep improvement from Index.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. A lot more emotions.
The faces were better animated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys actually like that OP?
Oh, the OP was great.
The OP was really fun. The OP's a banger. I like that song.
The OP was nice. I was actually just looking up music. So the person who did the music also did the Index music. And they did... I don't really see much else I recognize that they did. Index seems to be like something that they do like big time, because they did the original Index, Railgun, the second season of Index. They did Index the movie. They did Scientific Railgun S. They did fucking
Which is season 2.
season 3 of Index,
Yeah.
and Accelerator, and Railgun T.
Which is 3.
Yeah. So they've done pretty much. They've done all of the
Yeah.
a certain.
I mean, I
scientific,
think this is
magical.
the second best OP in the entire Index Railgun series, so
If I actually remember, this OP did win an award. So yeah.
probably did. It had a good little tune to it.
Yeah, it was definitely. It's definitely
It's
a good
very
OP.
poppy.
It's a,
Yeah, it was
absolutely.
it's called Only My Railgun by Fripside.
Yeah.
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 It goes for the first 14 episodes. Yeah.
So we're gonna see it a couple more times before the end of the season.
Yeah, and then it switches to a different one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Edie?
Dear my friend,
That's actually
every day.
No, that's actually what it's called by
Yeah.
Madamino Mirai.
Yeah.
And that's actually used in episodes 1 through 11, and then 13 through 14 and 24. So it's not used in episode 12.
Because episode 12, they did the end credits over the final scenes.
Yep.
Although it was very cute and nice sounding, but yeah.
It worked. I don't know if I have anything extra to say about it. It worked.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I
Excuse me.
enjoyed it.
I think it's just very distinctive because of the dear my friend.
Yeah, it's the first.
So even if you're skipping it, you're always going to hear that one line.
Yep.
And also, the whole purpose of that ending right there is the cue to look and see if there's any post-credit scene for me right there.
I have to admit, I am pleasantly surprised that this is 2009. For some reason, I had thought it was quite a bit later.
Yeah.
So I am
this is not
pleasantly
long after
surprised.
Index Season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, like, the pacing reminds you of definitely, like, older shows.
Yeah, because the third season didn't come out until 2020, so
No.
there was
Yeah.
long gaps in between.
Third season peak, by the
It
way.
says the second season came out in 2013, so there was a 7-year gap between seasons 2 and 3. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm somewhat impressed that they even came back with a season 3, to be honest, after 7 years.
It was an entire ass project because they came back with Season 3 at the same time they did Season 3 of Index, and they launched the Accelerator series. All 3 of those were part of one project, trying to revive the series from the dead anime-wise.
Yeah.
Whether or not that actually worked will remain to be seen. Hasn't shown much fruit recently.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I don't know. I think that is actually quite... I do actually find that very interesting, because it's very rare that I see series take that long a gap between seasons, to be honest.
Sorry about
Oh man, someone
What?
blew their brains out all over the table.
What? Oh! Oh! Oh!
Now she figured it out.
I understand now.
I don't understand.
Devil is a part-timer.
Ah.
Yeah.
The way you said it made you actually sound like you actually sneezed, Nick Nack.
Yeah, I genuinely took me a second.
I mean, maybe that was the point. Ever consider that?
Yeah, but good job. Your sneeze was so convincing that no one probably got your joke.
Seki got it.
Seki
Took me
got
a
it,
second.
but no one else maybe. I don't know. You know, no, I'm not even gonna dig myself this hole right here. It's
Fun
not-
fact,
it's not a hole
the
worth
original
digging.
season of Devil is a Part-Tamer came out in 2013.
Oh.
But we're
Yeah.
now in 2022, so that's 9 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Railgun came out.
That's 7 years, because it was 13 to 2020. So
Yeah.
7 years and 9 years, you're right. It's an even longer gap.
10 years. Oh God.
Once I was 7 years old. Anyways, I don't have much more to say about this section.
I think
no.
that covers about the basis of it here. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. See you next time. Try harder, everyone.
Like, comment, subscribe.